Hi, it is the human operating system time. So often, continuously, I got a message from our Wing Chun friends telling me that people deleted my comment in the YouTube in different forums. And this Wing Chun friend is saying that I'm just there trying to educate people with what is reality. Why is people try to censor it by deleting it? And I always tell these friends that, most people are running a business, and I'm actually going in the directions of education that is different. So it is okay for people to delete my post or comment, because in a business arena, of course, people don't want their product to be critics, and also people do not want the facts get out. That is just common. Okay, it is a business, and I'm doing educations, so I'm going to present what it is as it is. Put myself aside, just present what it is. So it is a conflict of interest there. Okay, because one is for business meaning money, title. Education means you just educate everybody so people know what's going on. So they are not the same. Okay, they are not the same directions, and it's okay, if people feel that they are threatened because of the facts, then they delete it. That's perfectly fine. You need to give people a freedom for them to do what they like. Okay, because they are running a business. So running an education is different. Well, you don't know. Maybe tomorrow I show up in Xi Xiaodong's show, the Chinese MMA guy show. Maybe I show you up there. Okay. And in fact, if I show up there, I'll be the same like I share with you today. Because what to argue or defend, you don't need to. You just present, this is the data from the history, this is the scientific tracking and data. So even if Xi Xiaodong is here today, just do it, show it to them. Instead of you argue, you defend on things which is my belief, your interpretations, and so forth. So it is much cleaner and much easier to stick with evidence and the scientific evidence from the history of Chinese culture. But then that is very different than commercial. Like if you say, people, the company doing research in funding research in university. If the result is no good, they will not publish it, right? But for the education, the real research, then they publish it, because it is to telling what is the reality or the truth inside there. Okay, so it's different group people. That's why I keep saying that I do not expect people to watch my channel get to a really big number, because most people don't want education. They want to be fashion, popular, follow the popular trend, and join the club, so forth. So we need to understand this. We need to respect people's view, okay, and their directions. So this is important, so that we just don't stand up there and self-righteousness. Oh, I'm right. You're wrong. No, this is what it is. If you don't want to take it, okay, no problem. But it is our job to present it to the world. Okay. Now, the reason I tell this first is because I'm going to share with you something really, really critical. Okay. In today's world, you heard about a lot about this mindful, mind power, Zen, stillness, and then again to the Buddhism, enlightenment, those kind of stuff, as the advance of traditional Chinese martial arts. So many people take it like, if I can learn this Zen way or this mindful way, that will be the most advanced Chinese Kung Fu or Wing Chun. Okay, the Wing Chun, the top of the Wing Chun is say Zen. So people take this and thinking that if they study this Zen stuff, they will be come out on the top of the tier in Wing Chun or traditional Chinese martial arts. Well, is that true? Is that true? What I can tell you is by evidence. Since Wing Chun is a Shaolin-based art, Buddhist Shaolin-based art, right? Mui is, like it or not, from Shaolin. Jisim is from Shaolin, right? This got nothing to do with the Tai Chi or Wudang or Taoist kind of stuff. Okay, so we want to be really clear on this. It is actually misleading to think that if you know Zen, you study the mindful of Buddhism, and you develop stillness, then you have advanced Kung Fu, advanced traditional Chinese martial art Kung Fu or Wing Chun Kung Fu. It is not true. Okay. When I was young, like 14, 15 years old, well, because I study Kyokushin, many of you guys know, so I had met the Mas Oyama trained Kyokushin karateka who fought in the world championship. And also, many of you guys know that I met many real Zen master, okay, monk, who is enlightenment. So in my experience, I see that these are two different things. And so even when you get into the Chinese historic evidence, you know that Zen do not solve the issue or the problem of traditional Chinese martial arts or Wing Chun. It never. Okay. So if you think that, if those guys who know Zen, they will have this magical traditional Chinese martial art, and you only need to learn Zen, and Zen is the core of everything. This spiritual, this mindfulness, it is not true, because now, as I show you in the Wing Chun Matrix books, according to the Chinese researcher Tang Hao, this drawing in the book is from Xianji, Mang Xuanji of Shaolin. Okay? This is authentic stuff. And it is around late 1600 or early 1700. This picture, this is the Shaolin Sword Striker document drawing. And so the historian, the traditional Chinese martial art researcher Tang Hao, which is living in the beginning of 1900 to the mid 1900, verified this thing is a real deal. Now, if Shaolin monks who really practice Zen, we're talking about 200 something years ago, who practice Zen, have to draw this and how to shoot in and all those stuff, well, that means Zen or mindfulness or your spiritual power or all kinds of stuff is not going to solve the martial art problem. Evidence. So in other words, it's like if you have Buddha come reborn today to today's world, they need to learn how to use a smartphone. Even though they are enlightenment, the top Zen because it's Buddha, but they still need to learn on the how to use a cell phone. Okay, so that's how reality is. Now, in the same book, Wing Chun Matrix, I mapped this up. This map. This is very important map. Okay, this is a very important map. And if you want to look at this map properly, the first here is the proper conduct. Okay, because you don't want to learn martial and promote violence and beating people or just create problem for the society. So the proper conduct is important. And then you need to have this momentum, like the 4 momentum fighting. Like the other day I said that in fighting it is just 3 simple things. First, do you have the capability to generate the impulse momentum to KO the other guy, the opponent? The second is, will you be able to play with the other guy or the opponent in the 4 momentum zone? The third thing is, what if you get struck? Will you be able to take it? Only these 3 things, okay? That's martial art, so face it, okay? So this is the momentum side. And this is the physiology training side. You have to have the capability to generate that impulse momentum, and you need the body, your breathing, your cardio and everything to do the job. You need to fight that. You need to fight him here, okay, with the 4 momentum zone. And here, this one, that is the anti-impact. So it is the third one. Will you be able to take strike? Okay, so 3 things, right? Will you be able to have the body to generate impulse momentum to create that damage? Will you be able to play with it, okay, in the 4 momentum zone? Will you be able to take strike? Now, you look closely in this map. The mindfulness and the chi stuff is just in this corner. Okay? If you can see that, okay, just put it different so that hopefully that you can see that clearly. In this corner. So, you see, this is the big picture of a martial art, be it Wing Chun or other traditional Chinese martial art, which is Shaolin based. And this Zen and mindfulness and the Qi style, which is today people like to call it internal, it's just this small portion. And people can have this small portion, but if one have no idea of this thing, one really don't know traditional Chinese martial arts. That is the reality. Okay? So that is the reality. So when I wrote this book, I got the thing mapped out And in momentum, I have presented and shared for so many times. And then this is the physiology for breathing and the Xing Qi, the Dan Tian. What does it mean exactly? Okay, having this so that people can experience it. What is the ancient mean? So it cover this Wing Chun Matrix book actually cover the Wing Chun side of this thing and this thing. Okay, cover the basic of it. Okay, these two things. And this thing, this mind thing, and the Qi stuff actually is covered in the Wing Chun Matrix book, the meditation matrix book. That's why all both in the matrix series. So this gives the big picture, and if one want to get this one, then it is in the Wing Chun Matrix book. So we need to put things in the perspective. Otherwise, we are not going to get any result. You cannot expect to go on the different directions to get results. So for me and pretty lucky, when I was young, I saw those Oyama's trained fighter, the Kyokushin fighter, okay, 1970s. And my instructor went to Japan for training too, okay, with the Oyama's group, okay. So, and then for the Zen side, I'm lucky to meet all this Zen master and so forth who have advanced development in the mindfulness and Zen and so forth. So this is the reality, and we must not, in Wing Chun, we must not thinking that Xiu Lim Tao set is to train your mind, no, it is not. The Xiu Lim Tao set is actually to train so that one be able to have a foundations for this thing. Okay, the Xiu Lim Tao set is the foundation of this thing. That is the core, the foundation, the Xiu Lim Tao sets. So it's not to do with this mind power and everything. So even if one is enlightenment in Zen, if he doesn't know about that thing, he still doesn't know. While he's enlightenment, he can aware, he is very sensitive, he probably be able to learn something really fast, where we take maybe years, and the Zen enlightenment person might only take 2-3 weeks, where we take years because of their sensitivity and their mind. But if they don't learn, they cannot do it. And not to mention that it's got to do with this body, the condition of the body, right? You need to generate the impulse. You need to condition that body. You want to play with the momentum, you need to go high speed, high accelerations. Okay? You want to take impact to the body, you need to strengthen the body, your breathing and everything. So that 3 things, right? Can create damage, can play, can take the damage. You need to cover that. And as for the mind, it's nice that you have a more awareness and so forth, but that itself doesn't solve the entire thing. Okay? So I hope that you see this and do not get into the what do you call that, the mindset. The mindset. Do not get into the mindset of thinking there's something magic there. Or if I learn Zen, I will be able to fight. Like when people train Xiu Lim Tao say, well, if you keeping training, then you will get it. And you'll be able to use it in fighting. No, you are not. You can't do that. Because since ancient, like I show you here, late 1600, early 17, Even the Zen master, the Shaolin monk, authentic one, they have to know the momentum, the shoot in, how to use this body, all this body conditioning and so forth. Okay? So this is to share with you today. I know that, by saying that, many people might have a broken heart if they watch this video. Well, I'm not here to broken your heart. I'm just present to you so that you will get your dream come true if you train properly. If you don't train properly, you can have all the dream, but they never come true. So that is the bottom line. That's why I say even if Xi Xiaodong invite me to debate with him, I will. And if the traditional Chinese martial art cannot do a certain thing, I'll say it cannot do. But if Xi Xiaodong is not proper in saying a certain thing and say this is what Chinese martial art ancient records show and this is what scientific data is, that's how it has to be. Otherwise, we're going to mislead people. That's why I say education is not trying to sell you. So then you buy in and then you believe in it and then you follow it. Education is not. Education is so that you present all different things. Then people, you can, after you study that, you think, now you'll be able to look at things in the really scientifically and in a reasonable way, instead of going towards the mindset, belief, and those kind of stuff. Okay, that's why you need the educations. That's why it's different than try to sell you something so that I'll tell you something magic, so that you buy into it and then you believe into it and then you're following it. Those is not about education. Those is about selling.